I put my buzz in the dryer. This one.
I just thought it was cold
Like,
outside.
what are you talking about? Did you actually? Does it actually happen?
See, usually I'm the gullible one. That makes me feel better.
$36.
Welcome back to 36.
Boom.
What's up, man?
Hello, champions.
Welcome back.
I turned the TV off, so we're not doing this.
I think I only caught us a couple times. It wasn't as bad, but there was some cool stuff on behind the camera last week.
There actually was. There was some really cool stuff. Talk about last week.
Yeah, it was.
You want to get into it a little bit?
It was a great spectacle at disc golf. That course is just fantastic.
How many great Sundays have we had this year? I mean, at least 6.
We've had a lot.
Right?
I think disc golf deserves more traction than these like competitive tags and the cornholes making ESPN all the time.
I'm so mad that it's not getting more traction.
It deserves so much more attention.
I have friends, and we're watching this on Sunday, and they're saying the same thing, and they don't know anything about disc golf. They're like, this is pretty cool. But now, you know, we know Ricky, so we're rooting hard for Ricky.
Yeah.
And he's right in the hunt. It's coming down to the wire. So they have something to cheer about, but at the same time, it's just quality.
Yeah,
You know,
it's very entertaining.
They're athletes at the top of their profession, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it, and I think a lot of other people are, and let's get this mainstream, shall we?
Yeah, we got to push harder.
Right? This is one way we're trying to do it. Locally, get more people involved. Hopefully that goes to national. I don't know how else we can contribute.
Well, we're contributing in other ways. We're trying to put in that extra 9 at Conocido, so that's a pretty big deal. Another course got approved right down the street from here at Cortez Park, so that's a pretty big deal. You know, there's lots of things we can do to better our community. Being part of it is one thing, but contributing,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother step up. So any way you can contribute, guys.
And we did a redesign of the course today, and you should see that on UDisc now as the proposal course.
Yeah.
We're pretty happy. We changed 1 and 2. 1, 2, and
3.
3 were formerly 1 and 2. So we made 3 holes out of those 2, and we like them a lot. And what it did is it made more room on the back 9 for a situation where we wanted to keep a par 4 and then still maintain a really hard 17 as a par 3. It was Steven's favorite. We didn't want to mess with Steven's favorite.
But
And-
simultaneously, it keeps everybody separate too. So we actually took
Yes.
a hole out of the cluttered area.
Yes.
Basically put it where hole 3 and hole 2 and hole 1 are now.
Where we had room.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot more sense. So 9 doesn't come up and finish at the end of the park where we wish it would, but 10 does. So you just have to play 1 extra hole. If you're only going to play 9, you play 10. And you'll end up right back in the parking lot. And then 11 proceeds to go to the back 9 in a different, on the other side of the park. So I think it's great.
It's a good course.
Yeah, I think it's really great. 16, 17, and 18 are really fun finishing holes. A lot can go on those holes. There's less Mandos, guys. Seems to be a pushback already on Mandos, but Mandos are there because it's a city park. At the end of the day, we got to be careful. You can't be, even if you're a good player, you can't be bombing these things if there's a lot of people out there. And I know that falls on deaf ears.
Yeah.
It really does. But at the end of the day, the majority of players are really going to appreciate this 18, I think, because it appeals to 950 and below player.
Mm-hmm.
They really will. It's challenging, and it'll move well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any areas other than maybe 4 now with the triple Mando that are really going to be areas where you might have some backup. Because if you don't make that triple Mando and you have to throw it 200 feet off the tee to get through the triple Mando.
It's a pretty tight window.
Yeah, but we made it a par 4. Jay was insistent on doing that. So if you do make it through, chances of making a birdie are really good. And
yeah, if you play for an easy 3, you got to play placement golf for sure.
Yeah. So we're really excited about it. Come out Saturday, which is the 15th.
15th, correct.
All right, we'll have it set
June.
up at probably by 7 in the morning, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I plan on getting there at like 5:35.
Yeah.
So
We should have it set up by 7, and We appreciate anything you can donate towards the fund. Valley Luna Restaurant
Big sponsorship. Really cool sponsorship.
has helped out, and you're going to get half of your donation back with going to Valley Luna and having a beverage or food, or their food's incredible.
They're giving you $5 credit
Yeah.
for participating in this, just to
And
donate.
they're literally catty corner from us right here, and 35th and Bell. And I eat there a lot. I love it. Well, you can tell.
Yeah. I think
I
we
love
both
it.
look like we eat at Valley Luna a lot. It's so good.
Fantastic Mexican food. Hope you guys come out and take advantage of that.
Yes, please do.
Thank you. That was our public service message.
Yeah,
right?
we ventured from Beaver State right into our own thing, so that was really
Yeah.
selfish of us.
But we'll go back to Beaver State if you like, because I thought it was great.
It was
with
fun.
The FPO.
Yeah, the FPO. My God, we've had exciting finish after exciting finish. Every single one. Like to your credit earlier of saying how many good Sundays we've had.
Yeah.
The women, Holland Haley makes that 45-foot putt
Yeah.
so confidently
To go into
push
the
to the playoff.
Right. Yeah.
My goodness, it was good. It was so good.
And again, and then spoiler alert, we're a week out here, so hopefully you've seen it. But the putt she made there to get in it, and then the putt she made to win in the playoff. But Gannon's putt, to me, it was either 16 or 17. That long one that's uphill.
He went par, I believe, 17-18 to finish out.
He made so it was 16.
He was playing
made
catch me golf.
He made a birdie putt on 16 that was so clutch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, for the birdie.
And I was playing with Jordan
On Monday.
On Monday, and Jordan's played that hole, and he said, "You have no idea. It was 68 feet, but it's more like 85 feet because of the incline of that. And it's just like television just doesn't show inclines and
Right.
hills,
Do it
valleys
justice, really.
at all very well. It flattens everything out. So that was more like an 80-footer, and that putt won him the tournament at the end of the day, because they went on to make a great par in 17 and a great par in 18. And he gave us a little thrill on 18, throwing it into the crap, right? So if you haven't seen it, look up Joe Mez Pro, do the edited version of that. It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, you could see Gannon switched his game plan to say, okay, I've got the lead here. I'm just going to hang on to it. All I got to do is play safe. And that's where he switched his game plan, where he started to, of course, throw the bad shots.
And have you recognized Joe Mez Pro has pulled the chase card in too?
Yeah.
On their coverage?
Yeah.
Which is so needed.
It's genius. They've got all the cameras out there already,
Right.
so all they got to do is do the post coverage stuff,
Right.
which is of course more work doing two cards, but it just makes it deeper and more entertaining.
Oh, I love it. I'm glad they're doing it that way, because you can see, especially on a Sunday, you can really see the people that are pushing from chase cards, and which is now a commonplace, right? So that's all good.
Lots of winners from the chase card.
Yeah, all good. So I know Stephen and you were going to go through some discs.
Yeah, we got some overrated discs to talk about.
Overrated discs. And then we'll be back with Stephen and I talking about our shoes that we wear on the course. I'm going to bring up Idio as my shoe of choice. And Stephen's got, it must be somewhere close because I can smell them.
Yeah, they're right here.
Oh, okay.
I'd reach down and grab them, but they're a little far.
You know, hopefully we'll just, we'll put the fan on or something. All right, so we'll bring Stephen in. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Did you really throw your bugs in the dryer? That's crazy. I've never tried it. Maybe
You guys are silly.
Should I just shrink my mid-ranges down a little bit?
No, did you actually think it? See, now I'm back to the gullible one. God damn it. Can't win.
That's what you get for calling me gullible. Like, it says gullible on the roof right there.
Yeah, okay.
All right. For real this time.
The katana sucks.
Agree.
This disc, I don't know why people ask for it. I hated this disc so much. Between left, right, and center, I could never get this thing to fly as it's supposed to. So, yeah, screw the katana. Do you want to go next? Should we go back and forth?
We can go, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely did not like this disc, though.
Yeah.
I found one in Las Vegas when I played there, and it was trash. I did not like it. And it felt like it was really angle dependent.
Oh, like it's very touchy,
like
yeah.
Nose angle, highs are angled.
Very touchy.
You could make it fly 10 million ways, but not like consistently that way. So that's why I really didn't like it. My first one's the Nuke I
Pretty similar to the katana, actually.
hate this. Really?
I think so. It's got a similar shape to it, at least.
Oh, I'm like, it doesn't.
It doesn't really fly the
This
same.
was
But
way more stable to me than the katana. The thing I don't like is it says it's a 13-speed and it has a 15-speed rim, and it is the most uncomfortable rim.
it's like holding a
I
pistol.
think
Yeah,
that you could. It's
another
terrible.
one that I don't understand
It's
why people
trash.
like.
And people, I see people with nukes.
Don't hold back, Steven.
No, I see people with nukes in their bag all the time, and I'm like, why do you have that? If it's a light nuke, then I'm like, okay, maybe, but still, why do you have that in your bag? It's so overrated.
No, the big arms make them look good. You got Barella and Ezra throwing them 600 some feet, so of course everybody
Well,
wants
yeah,
to throw them from there.
If
But
you can throw 75, 80 miles an hour and you
you
have
can
big,
make pretty good
and
use
you
of it.
have big hands, I'm not saying anything to you. It's not overrated for you. For all of us,
Please don't fight me.
mere mortals, you should not have a nuke in your bag at all. So,
Next up, I have the Judge. I think the Judge gets too much love. I've seen people throw them to very, very good effect. This is just my personal experience. I'm only one man. Please don't pitchfork and torch me in the comment section. I don't like the Judge. I don't like the beaded putter. I think it's awkward. All the premium plastics end up domey, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I know you putt with them and throw them,
I will agree
but you're
with
very
you.
particular about your plastics.
I do not like that Judge.
Yeah.
So I'll agree with you on that. But
Okay.
the classic blend ones and the hybrid or classic hybrid ones, money. And I throw the classic blend Raptor Eye, and that one's money too.
The
But
Raptor
it's
Eyes
all-
felt perfect.
All the like putter plastics pretty much are decent, and I like big beads. So, but yeah, I could get on. I know a lot of people. Rude.
Super rude.
All right, next up is going to be very similar to the nuke. It's the Venom.
Yep.
And these are also beefcakes, especially these Z ones. I see a lot of people with these. I think this is like a true, it's either a 13 or 14 speed rim, but it's definitely smaller than the nuke.
I thought it felt like an 11 speed when I first met it.
Really? Okay, let me look this up. But anyways,
I'm curious about
I just
that.
don't get when people have that. It's the same thing as the nuke. Take it out of your bag. You cannot, I mean, unless you're just using it for like a utility, I get it. If it's just like a super overstable, it's windy and it's negative elevation or something like that,
What about like a forehand only player?
I feel like you could, I don't know. I think for utility disc, I actually like the Venom more than the nuke, but that's it. I
It
see
feels
people
like a very
bag like
stable
4 or
disc.
5 of them, and I'm like, why do you have that?
Well, and to Discraft's credit on that, every plastic travel's different. Every single run that we've had has been just a different flight of Venom. Different feels in the hand too. Like we got the color shift Venoms, and they felt shallow compared to this. This feels like a really deep disc. This thing feels huge compared to other Venoms.
Oh, that's a 12-speed rim. Oh, but it came
12
out,
speed.
at first it was a 12-speed though, right? Wasn't that the original flight number?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it was. I had one and there was a 12. Yeah, you can tell though, like the rim does not feel as bad as the nuke, but it's still stupid overstable. It's crazy. Yeah.
So next up, I have the contender for the most overrated disc ever made, Under the Sun. This disc is so freaking weird. A domey mid-range with a really jagged edge and a bead. This thing is so incredibly awkward. I don't understand why people like the Rock at all. I think it's the worst feeling mid-range in the store.
Wow. That's saying a lot. There's some bad ones in there. I'm thinking of a few that are worse than this.
Really?
Right
Like
off the
what?
bat. I don't know actually, but I mean, it could be there.
It's a
I just,
four- they
I
call
just
it a
know
4-speed.
It's bad. I've never even thrown a rock though, and I'm just like, I think this is why, because they feel like garbage.
I have, and so when you throw it, it feels like it doesn't have a whole ton of glide, so it like puts the brakes on out of your hands right when you throw it. It's really like, I found it to be kind of flimsy out of the hand, and I know it's one of those discs that shows you what's wrong with your game. My game's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
your
like
game is-
900 rated.
You're
okay?
perfect. You're so good.
So
at
good at this game, dude. No, it did not work for me, and I was not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't really like the KC Pro or the DX plastics, especially in the mid ranges.
It feels weird, and the dome feels weird. Like it's, I don't know.
It's an awkward disc.
It's
I don't
really
get it.
strange. And I don't think the Rock 3 was much better, but I've thrown the Rock 3. That's the closest thing to that I've thrown.
No.
But it's at least flatter on top.
Yeah, it's the same shape, just flat.
Almost the same flight numbers. I picked out the Zone. And the only
It
thing,
is almost the same.
the only thing I like about the Zone is this stamp. I think if you're a Zone thrower, this stamp is actually sick.
It's pretty sweet. I think that's crystal plastic too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never liked, I don't like the rim. I don't like the feel. I didn't like it on forehand.
I didn't like it on forehand either.
I don't know. It's weird. I like my anvils and I like my slammers. And this was like right in between the two. Like it's really, really close. It's shallow. I mean, like, but everything about it just was weird. It didn't fly good for me.
I know they say they're really, really beefy upshot discs. I didn't find mine. I had a Z that was like the eye die with the flag.
Yeah.
Super beautiful disc, but then I would throw it and it like smoothly panned out of like Anheuser shots.
Yeah.
And it was very, very smooth. It was more like a mid-range than an upshot disc to me. Because if I put any kind of power on it, I'm blowing past the basket.
Yeah, because
so.
it just seemed really straight.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing I didn't like about it. I wanted something, and like then the Zone OS was too overstable, like way too overstable.
Well, and that's why they made the Zone OS, was to give people what they wanted, which was beef, and then it was like just a disgusting amount of beef.
You need like a Zone kind of stable.
Kind of OS, KOS.
Yeah.
Okay, you can come for me in the comments on this one. I get it. I know everybody loves the Grace. I do not. I don't think this is as good as my Wraith. I know it's the best Wraith since a Wraith, but I put a Wraith back in my bag recently and realized how freaking good that disc is. This is an old pre-flight number Wraith, and they don't quite make the plastics like they used to. But I did not find the Grace to do what I wanted it to do. The orbits were pretty overstable and glidey, so I would use them like a destroyer. And then the stock stamps, I would grab a 169 gram, and I would get a nice like smooth flip up with it, and then fade. But I wasn't getting quite the glide that like this one had, so I couldn't throw it as far as this one, even though this one was noticeably more overstable.
Yeah,
it's probably a me problem. I know. Feel free to flame me. I probably deserve it.
No, I feel like I'm a little bit more partial to Trilogy, and I did not like the Grace either. And I tried.
You didn't like the Grace?
Not at all.
Okay,
I'm not alone. Much rather throw a Wraith, and I have a Star Wraith at home. And it just flies better. And like it was the same thing. These were a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
But the Royal Grand ones, a little more understable. And I had one turnover so bad it went like 2 houses in over a road and then 2 houses in.
Was there wind?
Yeah, a little headwind.
Oh,
but I still threw it on
guess.
hyzer like left, and that thing just was like, I'm like, what just happened? So it was also really inconsistent because I threw on hyzer to the left of this hole, and it just flipped and went crazy. So yeah, I wasn't a huge fan, and it just didn't fly. It was like the same distance as my escapes, pretty much. And at that
that's
point,
not good for an 11 speed.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna bag this.
Overrated. You heard it here first.
And this is, I think,
probably the only ones to ever say it.
The most overrated disc out there.
We're not putting this in the episode.
Is the Berg.
We're not doing it.
The most trash, overrated disc ever.
It's not.
Not even close.
Well, I think
It's so
overrated.
good.
I think overrated, though, definition would be something that a lot of people think is good. So you guys are proving my point.
Did you think of that on the car ride over here? You just
I
could
literally
not
just
wait to
came up
use
with
it.
I'm stepping in here because I think the Berg is not overrated.
As a Berg ambassador.
I mean, I'll call Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky said he didn't like it.
Ricky
Ricky's
agrees
paid to
with
say
me.
that. Ricky's a biased opinion. This is the best upshot disc ever made.
I think it's the best.
And Steven doesn't like it because it feels wheeled.
No, it's too straight.
Downwind.
Well, yeah, the
upwind,
K3 ones are kind of straight.
best disc.
But they're, no matter what angle you throw it on, it's just going to fall. It just sort of falls. So throw it at the basket. You're probably going to hit it.
And then roll away because this thing's a tire. It's literally a tire.
A tire.
I would rather throw a tire than throw a Berg.
It's so offensive.
Nate, you dirty dog.
Sorry. Here, let me put this back how it was. Oh,
So we've got the a little shoe talk to go over right now, and I will say this: I had to put in some Dr. Scholl's in here to give it a little bit more arch support,
okay.
which I like, and also a little more cushion on the heel. We do a lot of walking in this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I find that to be an easy thing to do. The insole that comes with this Idio pops right out. You can put that in, and then I put the Idio over top of it. And the reason I like doing that is because I find it easier. My foot, although it's sort of a medium, I wouldn't say I'm narrow, but it's still, I find that these get pretty close together. And by putting that in, it gives it just a little bit more width.
Just so that your laces aren't like pulling it all the way together.
And I feel that's a lot better. Now, the first 3 rounds I played with these, I hated them.
Okay.
I really didn't like them at all. They didn't feel comfortable. They felt bulky. It felt this. It felt that. Now I'm 4 months into them, and it's the best shoe I've ever thrown in.
Nice.
I'll never wear tennis shoes again as long as they make these shoes. And I know now they have like a high top that that just came out.
Yeah, I saw that on Cupcake. He posted that on Instagram.
Okay.
That they were coming out with a new one.
Yeah. They look cool too, and they've got some sort of fancy lace with them.
Yeah.
And another thing, like these are made for disc golf, right?
Yeah.
So you have the two areas on here that are meant to bend and torque, which I like a lot. So you're not going to put extra stress on that sole of the shoe in a way that it's going to crack it or wear it out early. And that's why I feel like the more you use these shoes, the better they get. That's personal preference. I'm really picky when it comes to this stuff too. So if I like a shoe, I can tell you that it's probably a pretty good shoe. But this is a really personal preference, and there's no right or wrong to any of it. They all get the job done. It's just this one for me feels like it's made for disc golf. I like the fact that it's got the extra toe.
Yeah.
Doesn't wear out, so I feel like I'm probably going to get a good summer out of these.
Yeah.
Without any issues. Now I have worn out the back of this heel, so if anyone from Idio is watching, I don't know what you could do about that, but I wore that out in 4 months.
Jeez.
So I find that interesting, but my feet are a little flatter than normal, so that could be what happens.
Yeah.
But
I think the one thing that kept me away from buying these was that they're waterproof. That's the one thing I actually don't like, because when they're that low, I just feel like you step in the smallest puddle and then it just fills your shoe and doesn't drain. So that's literally the only reason I hadn't bought these. But
you live in Arizona.
I know. I picked it up in Georgia. But that's just stayed with me. That's one of those military things that I'm just like,
yeah,
I cannot stand waterproof.
Well, you have to have dry
shoes.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have dry feet.
Yeah, that's a crucial thing. But yeah, if it's, I'm actually really excited about the high top ones, and I'll probably buy a pair of the high top ones.
Cool.
The other thing I think, because I give one negative, I'll give it a positive too. I think it's probably much better like quality on the bottom here. It's heavier, but like you can see on the bottom of mine, it's worn out. We've had them about the same amount of time, but mine's worn out like way more than these have. These almost like the sole looks almost brand new compared to mine.
Yeah.
Like the bottom of it, but like this whole toe is almost gone.
Well, I'm like a ballerina when I throw.
Yeah.
I'm very light on my feet.
So
not as light as Jay.
No. Yeah, these ones, the one thing I can tell, they're a lot lighter, but they're also a lot more flexible. So if you don't like flexible,
which is something like you see like Calvin, right? When he torques that front foot, I don't even know how that shoe stays a shoe by the end of 18 holes.
And that's what Jay was even saying earlier. He said that my putt looks similar to his. So I'm like, well, maybe that's why I like these. But these are the zero drop.
You're more on your toe.
Yeah, I'm way more on my toe. I'm like flat, or not flat, but straight leg and on my toe.
That's probably exactly right. Jay's right.
And that's probably why I like these a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they're zero drop.
What's the name of these?
Ultra. Oh, sorry. Yeah, these are Altra Superior 6s. And to me,
that's the brand, Ultra?
Yeah, Ultra. ALTRA. I think they're the exact same price, actually.
As what? This is Nate Sexton's one, so these are a little over like 120 or 130.
Yeah, these are 129.
Okay.
So about the same price. I think they're both good. It really just depends on you. The one other thing I liked is this has like a bigger toe box than the rest of the shoe. So I feel like my feet really plant into the ground, and it's their smallest cushion that they have for a trail shoe. So it's like 23 millimeters, I think. But it's still zero drop, so it feels like a barefoot shoe that still has a little bit of padding. So you can step on rocks and different stuff. Yeah. And it doesn't like poke through like some of the other, not poke through, but you don't feel it like some of those other.
Because we have a lot of edgy stuff here, right? In the desert.
A lot of people like the barefoot shoes. I think this is like the compromise if you kind of want something barefooty, but you know, still light, still has that zero drop. So the zero drop just means your heel and your toes are in the same spot, and it still gives you a little arch.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's one other thing, because you were saying that this actually has that extra padding or rubber on the toe in the front too.
It's so important.
And so that's why I picked out the Superior 6.
Yeah.
Sorry. I've seen a lot of people wear Ultras playing disc golf. Like I was telling Damien, I played a tournament 2 weeks ago, and like 3 people, including myself, so 2 other people on my card had Ultras on.
Wow.
And they weren't these exact ones, but these ones, I think if you were going to get them specifically for disc golf, the Superior 6, because of the extra rubber on the toe box and everything else, are probably the best ones for disc golf.
Do you think the company knows that this is a thing?
I don't know. I want to reach out to them. I want to get my Signature Series Ultras, but
That'd be cool.
like
Then I'd maybe
Sextons
change.
and yeah, I'll get you one.
Oh, the SS.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
But-
nice.
But yeah, it's already a Superior 6, so you could go with that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Well, it's all
Ultra,
dialed in.
I'm gonna reach out to you after this.
All right.
We know you guys are watching anyways.
Awesome segment. See you guys.
See ya.